I love playing video games. I think a lot of us do, but if there's one thing that I have universally loved in all the video games that I've played, it is movement. Not just going fast, even though that's definitely a part of what makes movement so enjoyable, majority of the time. When I say movement, I directly refer to the idea of any fun movement options in a video game. I'm talking double jumps, barrel rolls, dashes, dodges, slides, and even explosives. There are so many movement options that have come out of so many different video games over the years that I wanted to categorize them in a couple of ways to make it easy to talk about, as well as being able to highlight some of my favorite in those categories and give them some time to shine. Of course, I'm not going to be able to talk about every single movement option ever developed, so if I miss a really badass one or just one you really enjoy, let me know. I would love to find more games, so yeah, feel free to recommend me some crazy movement options or games that have those things. With that said, let's talk about my categories. We have 3 categories we're going to be looking at: vehicles, items, and abilities, right? With these core ideas, we can easily discuss what makes these separate options so fun in different ways, easily giving them a couple of umbrellas and options for reference, right? They're all pretty simple to understand, and some I believe could fall into multiple categories, so let's just get right into why I love movement options. Mario Kart showed us all that, as people, vehicles are meant for going fast, swerving recklessly into people, and throwing things out of the windows at other people with. It's great. It's so good, we will spend even $80 on the new one. I'm so angry at Nintendo for that. Ever since then, we've been able to develop every little imaginable idea of a boat, a car, a plane, a train, a spaceship, even if that spaceship doesn't really do anything except fly in orbit and get into boring dogfights. Starfield! Starfield! The vehicle is a wonderful option because of its ease of access to the people, right? If you put anybody in front of a car in a game, they will understand that they could theoretically get into it and drive it hog wild. Even more fun comes out of these vehicles when you realize games by different developers all have different driving. Cyberpunk 2077's driving is weirdly heavy, and it has a strong slide to turning compared to the sharp control of something like GTA, or the iconic weight and flippability of a Halo Warthog. Even something as recent as Fortnite, if you find a car in Fortnite, you can easily heal it to full at a gas station. They all have as much boost as you want, as long as you have gas, and something highlighted in Fortnite that vehicles have as a movement option in general in games, like the Halo Warthog, they can be used with friends. The joy and laughter that comes from tumbling your SUV down a tall mountain and your entire squad fumbling out while being rained in gunfire is exhilarating, and that's why vehicles get their own category. Good job, vehicles. And customizable vehicles. Okay, wait. I will always adore the Saints Row franchise for many of things, but one of them being the customizable options for cars in that. You see a car in that game, you want it, you take it. You drive it to a body shop, modify it in any which way you want, with colors, lights, tires, spikes that come out of the tires. Saints Row has such a place in my heart for that, but Saints Row is a topic for another day. Let's get back to what I'm talking about. Items! While vehicles are something your character is able to get into and pilot, the item options for movement are usually applied to an attribute you already have, or in picking up this item you gain some sort of new power that lets you move. These could even be weapons. A lot of times they are, though usually thought of as a tool for violence, right? Many developers see the joy and the creativity in something like a grenade or rocket launcher and give us the suspension of disbelief to fly among the stars. Yeah, I could totally survive 2 grenades blowing up at my feet as long as I just jump right at the right moment. Yeah, I'll survive. Though these aren't always weapons, and not always do they make you move fast, per se, again, the main idea is moving in a fun way. This could be something like the old Hunter's Bone in Bloodborne, giving your dash a little more reach and a badass invisibility technique with it for the cost of a little silver bullet. Or maybe something like the Hopu Feather in Risk of Rain. It just gives you an extra jump. Easy, simple. Something like this as an item also highlights, in general, this category having its own little attribute of stacking items for certain games. Sometimes these bonuses stack and stack, like the Hopu Feather. My mustache is getting in my mouth. Sometimes these bonuses will stack and stack, like the Hopu Feather. However many feathers you have, that's how many jumps you have. Simple, effective, and definitely makes me want to go for that item every time. Going back to weapons for a quick second and back to Fortnite. I love Fortnite! A few seasons back, they had one of my favorite movement combos in games with the use of 2 weapons you can find around the map. You find a pair of Nitro Fists and a pair of Magneto Gloves during the car season. I don't remember what season that was. I'll put it right here. That was a peak season. That was so good. Nitro Fists would launch you into the air or forward. That lets you get away from enemies or above your enemies. And then if you used the Magneto Gloves while you were in the air, they would hover you wherever you were, and you would rain down like metal meteors with the weapon. So anytime you found another person, you would just launch into the air and rain down hellfire on them. And if somebody else had them, it became this incredible duel in the air of like lobbing rocks at each other, and you just had to time it perfectly. You just had to aim true and guide your metal meatballs. It was incredible. I missed that season. I miss the good old days. Abilities are the crucial ingredients to the character you are playing in the game, necessary in the cooking process to make the idea of it come to fruition. These are usually something where, if I turn on a new game, and I find a cool ability making my character go fast, or far, or high, or spin in some badass fashion, it's got me hooked in. It'll have me running around for hours on end just practicing the movement and trying to learn it and bouncing off the walls or running up buildings. An example of this. I have played about 2 hours of Titanfall 2. Now you might be asking, why haven't you beaten Titanfall 2 yet? That seems kind of interesting. I love Titanfall 2, but how would I even know that, right? Those 2 hours I spent were purely in the that tutorial area where you can get some achievement for beating every one of the other Titanfall characters in that ranking and doing that little tutorial run perfectly, like killing every dude and getting in the right time. You get some achievement. I liked how the game felt so much. The first time I played it, I spent 2 hours grinding that out going, I can make it, I can make it, I can make it, I'm gonna win. And I just never got it. I got like really close, but I still never got that achievement, and I just burned myself out in 2 hours because I was like, I'll go play it some other time. So, like, that's how much an ability or just how the character moves can just hook me in so well with natural abilities. For me, my love for movement abilities over items or vehicles probably comes from my love for platformers. I was a big Nintendo and Mario kid growing up, as well as the Kirby games, and I also somewhat attribute this love to the king of fun movement, Minecraft parkour. Chicken Jackie. If I was on a server and somebody built the parkour section, I was already doing it. Even making this video, talking about it right now, makes me want to stop everything I'm doing, find something on Hypixel right now. But that isn't really a broad range of movement, you know? It's sprinting and jumping. A ton of games have that. It's the majority of movement in games. The ones I really adore are abilities like Shovel Knight's Bounce, right? His Shovel Bounce. Or any of the 4 Knights abilities in the Treasure Trove collection. They all center around the character you play, as well as opening a different style of gameplay that adds replayability to the game while adding fun story elements to it by being abilities the bosses used in their encounters with Shovel Knight in his campaign. Or something that I've recently been putting a lot of time into, Warframe. The simple ability of sliding into bullet jumping. I think that's what they call it. I think I heard that somewhere. I love the fluidity of it. The freedom of flowing into a double jump or wall climbing, or even the basic fact of letting me do it up a flight of stairs. That doesn't make sense. Not at all. But I don't care. Because I am a space ninja, and I can slide up a set of stairs if I want to. Movement options let us feel badass in games. I think that is the biggest draw for me with these things. It feels so awesome to go so fast, or do something quick and efficiently. It's why people love speedrunning and setting up speed challenges, and it's why new awesome abilities keep coming out from games. I haven't played Neon White yet, but that's exactly the kind of thing that draws me in. It looks incredibly fun for having fast, quick, and wild movement driven by weapons that have different abilities tied to them. It seems like the game that's just made for me. And I didn't even talk about grappling hooks in this video. Grappling hooks, that's a good item. I know that it is like a general game item. Even whenever I see it in a game, I'm always like, give me that grappling hook. I'm going to use it in some way. Deep Rock has them. Same goes for gliders. Gliders are an iconic weapon. Like, it's so good. Not weapon. They're an iconic item. And ever since Breath of the Wild came out, gliders have been a staple item in games. Actually, wait, no. Fortnite did it. Fortnite had the glider. Fortnite's the king of video games. I hope to see more and more games come out that just blow me out of the water with the ways they let me fling my digital body around in more ways than one. And I want to know what games are out there that can already do that. Let me know in the comments what games I missed and what I should check out. Go have fun shooting yourself out of a barrel or something else fast-paced and zany. And thank you so much for watching this video.